Welcome back to the Cheap Heat Productions podcast. Okay, today on the show, I am joined by Hardy Book star and stand-up comedian Mr. Owen Colgan, otherwise known as Beefcake. How are you today, man?
Good. Very good, Morris. Thanks for having me on. I couldn't help but see you had Butterbean on here before.
Yes, I did. A long time ago. Well, about a year ago.
What was he like?
Yeah, he was sound. He was kind of like, I just kind of asked him to do it, and he was kind of like, I don't know if I really have the time. And then I was having a few beers at home one night, and a few beers led to a couple of whiskeys, and then he said, "Oh, I got a message from Butterbean," and he goes, "I can record in 15 minutes if that's okay." So
You
I
got a
had
place
like,
in Butterbean schedule.
yeah,
You reckon that?
I had like cans of Lucozade, and I started drinking them just to try sober up a bit, and we got there in the
Okay.
end. He didn't realize.
Okay, nice.
Yeah,
You have a,
I got
yeah, you
50.
have you've got a good skill there, the interviewing skills. Sorry, I keep cutting across you now, so I'm ruining your interview skills.
Oh no, I've no skills. I just let the people talk. So you can work away
Okay.
there.
No worries. No, I was just he's a big fella to get, like, it's a big name. But I also seen you had that fella making that pedophile hunter.
Oh, Chris Hansen.
He'd come out there, yeah, from
Yeah,
the porch.
yeah.
Yeah,
He was good crack. Like that took a
I'd say
while
so.
because we had to go through agents and stuff like that.
Okay.
But then I have a direct contact with him now, and he's up for doing another show at some
Oh,
point.
no
So
way.
yeah.
Class.
So
It's funny,
I
those
had
people, you don't know what they're up to. Like, I'd love to know what Butterbean does day to day. What does he have a schedule, or is he just out fighting
he
lads?
does a lot of these conventions now. These conventions are massive over in America, so he show up at like wrestling conventions and
Okay.
MMA conventions, boxing stuff, whatever. And he's really
Yeah.
big on TikTok. He said to me actually when he was coming on the show, "Can I promote my TikTok on your show?" And I was like, "Butterbean is fucking asking me to promote his TikTok," and I was like, "Yeah, work away, man."
It's funny. It sounds like a drug now, man. Can I get a bit of TikTok off you?
He doesn't look like the fella that'd be into the TikToking.
That's it. The thing is, this world keeps surprising me the last few years, and it's like the fact that Butterbean is asking you, can he promote his TikTok? You kind of expect to hear those kind of things now.
Yeah, yeah.
He could be on
So
OnlyFans next with the flute
big,
out.
big market. The old OnlyFans. I've had a few people on, from the States, girls that are into wrestling, and a few from the lingerie fighting, and they all have OnlyFans and adult stuff going on. So
Nice.
it's
I'd
just,
say
I
there's a
think it's
crossover
another,
between the wrestling and the OnlyFans. I'd say there's a crossover of like fans and some of the performers could definitely make a lot of money on there.
yeah, from talking to these girls about, say, adult stuff and things like that. And then when you sit down and you think about it, it's just another form of entertainment, really, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, of course. Yeah. And it's a clear
But
form. Like, I could be wrong, like, but at least with that stuff, you know what's happening. Like, everyone knows the deal. If you're going
yeah,
to be in front of camera doing a dance or like doing whatever, like, and someone's paying you money, at least it's clear what's happening. Like, and then if you want to do it, enjoy it, but just hide the bank account details.
yeah. I don't think we're ready in this country yet for OnlyFans, and even that's something I was actually going to talk to you about. Like, I think there's a massive gap in the market for Irish porn. Do you think?
There is, but at the same time, would you watch it if it was on there? Because you'd be afraid you'd know the person.
Yeah, I suppose like everyone knows everyone, but
Yeah,
me and
that's
my
it. You
friend
see.
were me and my friend were pissed in Manchester years and years ago, and we came up with this idea for an Irish porn movie and how it would go. If you want to hear it,
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
okay. So we're obviously from Kilkenny, so we were thinking like an orgy. Okay, 15 hurlers
I
and
think
one
I've seen
girl.
this actually. All right.
15 hurlers and one girl. And what was the name of it?
15-1.
No, Slitter in Two.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Your podcast is finished tonight, Morris.
Cancelled.
Cancelled. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I think it wouldn't work because you know what? Like you would feel like you know somebody, and the thing about Ireland is it's like everyone kind of knows each other, so it sort of governs itself in that way. But I think once one or two people break down the fence and get onto OnlyFans, it'll be a lot more common. And I don't think it's too far away. I think Irish people, I don't think they care as much, in the way that like they don't give a shit. Like if you don't like something they're doing, then that's not going to stop them. Whether it's like, like in the 90s, if you wore the wrong pair of shoes and someone said, "Oh, look at the shoes you're wearing," you wouldn't never wear them shoes again because you'd be afraid that they'd say something to you down the town. Like, so I think nowadays people's mindsets are very different, but definitely in Ireland anyways. And I think OnlyFans, I'm willing to take it on board, and I'm willing to pay big money to watch some stuff on there. Do you like me ring?
Yeah, I do. Where'd you get that?
That's my great grandmother's ring.
All right.
Yeah, so she gave that to me before she passed.
Yeah, very nice. Do you think that we're gone soft with the old cancel culture? You're a big fan. You're a big fan of Joe Rogan was saying. Remember all that shit that happened this week? Like, what do you think about that?
Yeah, I was devastated. I got on the phone straight away and I texted him.
Yeah.
And
how is he?
Joe, listen, hold it together, buddy. Hold it together. Well, he's over. He's staying in Brendan Schaub's attic at the moment.
Hiding out.
He's hiding out. The wife doesn't even want to talk to him. She said, "You want to stay up there in the attic?" So Brendan Schaub he's got the food truck parked outside the house. So I just bring him up like kind of like food that the fighters don't be eating. So Joe's got really bloated now at the moment. He looks a bit like Butterbean. And apart from that, he's doing great though. No, it's hard to know. It's hard to know what to think about Morris because I don't really know, because I think the whole thing is just a game that it's getting you just to click anyway. So that's like the whole situation with Joe Rogan in the first place. Like, you'd never watch Joe Rogan and you'd never think to yourself, I'm going to listen to what that lad says and it's going to affect my day, I know he has a responsibility to maybe not say certain things, like, but at the same time, like, I don't think you should be watching Joe Rogan and basing your life around him anyways. So he's going to, like, people are going to do whatever they want to do in different platforms, and it's up to you. If you want to subscribe to Spotify, you can go for it, like, and if you don't want to do it, then just don't do it, like, but let it naturally pan out the way it should be, instead of people trying to force other people to change things or whatever, So people just need to look after themselves, I think, a bit more.
Yeah, I was thinking about it, and the one thing I thought was, like, these things were all said years ago, and it keeps happening. Like, somebody said this 10 years ago, and then it gets resurfaced in a viral video. But it was okay 10 years ago, but now it's not okay now. So should they lose their job now over something that was okay back then?
Yeah.
Might not have been okay, but it wasn't perceived as bad back then. It's really messy, isn't it? Like, I'm sure that I'm sure that if I was to ever get famous, I've got loads of stupid shit on the internet.
You're fucked, Morris. You're in big trouble.
Yeah. Same with you. You might have a few dodgy things lying around as well, and a few outtakes.
Oh, geez,
it might be a few things on the.
You know the way, like, you'd say anything when you're just talking shite, like, so there'd be definitely plenty of takes out there from Hardy Bucks that we could have said anything, but it's just like, it's just talking without thinking, really, and it's just whatever comes out. But I don't know, and like, it's like a lot of people jump on it then too. Either it kind of works both sides, but at the end of the day, like, isn't there more important things to be talking about than Joe Rogan and his podcast? Like, he already has plenty of money. I'd rather see what the neighbor is up to.
Yeah, on OnlyFans.
What's he doing? Exactly? Just inside pulling the wire himself. Why are those curtains pulled?
We talk about Hardy Bucks. You guys were on Netflix, and it's gone off Netflix now. I think it went off last month, wasn't it? How beneficial? How benefit? Okay, we'll talk about it for a second. How beneficial was it to have it on Netflix, or did it really make a difference?
It was very, very beneficial in the sense that, like, when it went on there, it was like, oh, it's on there now, great, that's a good thing. But it was kind of RTE that did the deal, like, so it was kind of wasn't really through us, So, so I didn't really think much of it, to be honest. But then the more I thought about it, I thought, like, well, it's a nice thing to say that you're on Netflix, and also, like, it brought it out to a much bigger audience, and it kind of gave it a bit of a resurgence in popularity. So like you'd get different generations of people who'd be like, "Oh, you're from the Hardy Bucks," and then you'd be like, "Oh, geez, I thought you'd have forgotten about that." But
Yeah.
you'd go over there and you'd shake their hand, give them a kiss behind the ear.
Yeah. With the mask on,
Exactly, you have to.
of course. Yeah.
But no, it did. It was good, like because it sounds good on your CV to say, "Oh yeah, sure, we had a series on Netflix," you know. So I know there's a lot of stuff on Netflix at the moment, but at the end of the day, like it's nobody can take that away from us.
Yeah. Is
So
there?
happy with it, yeah.
Yeah. I know you're asked this all the time, but like, is there any movements or ideas trying to get this show on the road again?
I don't think so, Morris. To be honest,
No.
nobody like people were kind of saying it like online for a while. Not so many people, but people were saying it. But like
Yeah.
in a way, like obviously we all love doing the Hardy Books, but like we're all like in our late 30s now, so I don't know would it work the same way as it did before. You know, like it's you kind of have to move on. You know, and I mean, not to say like if Netflix came tomorrow and said, "Oh, by the way, we want to make another season," I'm sure everybody'd be like, "Oh yeah, let's do that."
Mhm.
But I think personally, I think it's probably best we just like maybe I don't know. Like I mean, if someone's willing to do something, I definitely would be in it. Like, but it's just like it's only talk for the moment, and like
Mhm.
you don't have a script. Nobody in our like nobody from RT came to us, like so, and nobody from Netflix came to us. So, I mean, that would be a sure sign that they were interested, you know. So in that sense, Morris, it doesn't look likely, but then you never know because S Club 7 got back together.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so too did the Spice Girls, and so too did take boys on what you call them boys Westlife.
Hmm.
Keen is back on the road, like,
and
and
Roy Keane might be going back to Sunderland as well. There you go.
to manage them, yeah. What's the story there? Do you reckon he'll do well?
I wouldn't think so.
No,
Would you? No. Well, it didn't go. It didn't go too well. He's. I think he's too much of a hothead, isn't he?
yeah, and see that's another thing as well with the media stuff. It's just like he kind of like Roy Keane is funny. He's very funny to listen to, like, but then he kind of you start playing a character. Everyone doesn't, you know, everyone does it,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
you kind of start playing into it a bit more because you know that that's what gets you the clicks. So then you play into it a bit more, and then it's just like Keane said, "What? Like he's only talking about rich footballers at the end of the day." So I know that sounds a bit pessimistic from me, but like, and Keane is great crack, but you know you can kind of see that he's acting a bit.
Yeah. I think Sky love having him on there for those clicks, as you say.
Yeah. But what I can't get over is the amount of football that Gary Neville and Jimmy Carragher analyze. It's just, it's OTT at this point. Like
Yeah.
back in the day, you'd be waiting for a game on a Saturday, be like, oh, nice, there's a game now, Steve Bruce and the boys. But nowadays, it's like 24 hours soccer
Yeah.
and it never
Yeah.
ends. Like, so it's just like you need to give it a bit of a break. But Gary Neville, Jimmy Carragher, their wives must be sick of listening to them talking about football or analyzing everything.
Yeah. Like this week, it was on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Don't think there was a game Monday, Tuesday, today, tomorrow, Saturday, Sunday, Monday again. Like it's
Yeah.
kind of non-stop.
It's non-stop and it's no more than every sport, and like it's just entertainment in general. Like even my father was saying to me today, he goes, "The snooker's back on," and he was absolutely over the moon that it was. He thought he was going to have to wait another few months for a bit of snooker, but
Yeah.
I was like, "How often is the snooker on these days?" And he goes, "Every couple of weeks." And like there's just lads flat out playing snooker nowadays because there's cameras there, and they're all like kind
Yeah.
of celebrities in the snooker world, and like that's
Same
just
as
more people to watch.
same as the lads in the darts. You see them now making their own entrances like wrestlers and
Oh
everything,
yeah, I like
getting the
that though. I
crowds
think darts
pumped.
is the last beacon of sport. You know, I think it's the last true sport.
Yeah.
Like soccer is great, like, but it's just there's too much money now, so that like you know if the ball is there in front of you and you don't get it, you're not too bothered. Like, but darts, you can kind of see like that. Some of them look like you know it means a lot to them.
Yeah.
I can't think of their names at all now. White is one of them. But now,
Peter
in
Wright.
saying that
Yeah.
though, I prefer the days of Ted Hankey and Phil Taylor. I prefer watching
Yeah.
them boys. But they were the best. Or the likes of what's your man's name from Northern Ireland? He's a snooker player.
Oh,
Whirlwind,
is it?
wasn't it?
Yeah.
Whirlpool
I
or
think
something.
so.
Yeah,
Um.
fucking. Anyway, sorry, I'm talking absolute shite.
We're both talking shite. Like, and while we're on the subject of sport, another favorite of
Do you
yours,
like me,
Connor. What do
Morris?
you think? I love you. What do you think of Connor at the moment? On the
Connor.
beer, isn't he all the time? McGregor.
Oh yeah, sure. All I had to see it like it's just through the Black Forge Instagram page. And I just check in on it, like just right before I sleep at night. I'll have a look to see who's in the pub.
And it's always him.
It's always him. He's looking in good shape, anyways. But,
Yeah.
I think UFC. To be honest, like Dana White's another cowboy. I feel like I'm kind of giving out about every fucker, but Dana White's an awful cowboy altogether. I like watching Francis Ngannou.
Yeah.
Did you see his fight against Cyril Gane?
No, I didn't know.
Oh, that's the one you should have watched. Like Cyril Gane is this like massive French dude, and then Francis Ngannou's from Cameroon, like, and they're two like massive 6'4" like units, and just Francis Ngannou was kind of getting shafted by the big man himself, Dana White, who looks a bit like Butterbean, and
also
surprisingly enough, you never see them in the same room together.
Yeah.
And then basically, anyways, in the UFC contract, if you're a champion but your contract is finished, you have to fight another fight that in that year or something like that. So that way, like UFC kind of have the power. But didn't Francis Ngannou injure himself, or he's got something wrong with his leg or something? So he's going to have to get surgery. So for the rest of the year, he won't fight. So then he'll be out of contract. So he's taking the power back from Dana White, and that's. I like Francis Ngannou. That's the kind of stuff I'd be watching in the UFC. But Conor McGregor, I don't know. Is he planning to come back? Do you think?
I don't know. With the longer time ticks on,
that's the thing, and the drink kicks in. Like, but I'd say for a lot of the pictures, he's only having a couple of mouthfuls and then he's heading home. Because if he was drinking whiskey and he was pints of Guinness that much, like there'd be no more UFC. And he looks like he's in good shape, so he knows.
Yeah,
he's probably taking a mouthful, going, "This is great crack. Come on down." People go down to see if he's there. He's at home lifting weights.
Yeah, he probably records all the videos on the one night, and then puts them up when he's lying in bed for people to come down.
That's exactly what happens. Yeah, that's exactly what happens. People are like, "Is Conor here?" No, but you want to get the BLT, and then like he's making money still.
Yeah.
Or do you want to get a carvery? The food looks good.
Yeah, it does. I'm going to go there now sometime. I'm up in Dublin just to check it out.
Oh, very good. Where are you these days? Kilkenny.
And you're in the West.
I'm in the West of Ireland, by.
Yeah.
Out in Mayo.
Talk to me about the comedy stuff and the stand up. And you've got a few shows done, and you've got some coming up.
Yeah, I did a few like throughout whenever there was space during the lockdown.
Yeah,
and I've got a few coming up now as well in Cork and Cork and Kildare and Dublin and different places. So just trying to get back into it, Morris, and trying to give it a good lash. But I don't know. I kind of go between the videos and the stand-up, and I don't know which one I like to do, And sometimes I spend too much time doing one or the other. But I have those gigs coming up anyways, and I'm very excited about them. But they're always a bit nerve-wracking to get up in front of people.
Yeah, I know that.
You're just there kind of going, fucking hell, there's people sitting there. And like you're meant to be like talking on a microphone, and then you're like, can I remember the hour-long stuff that I wrote down on that piece of paper?
Yeah.
So
do you just write it down, or do you have any videos or props or stuff in between, or
I have the green screen?
What way do you do it?
I have a projector behind me, so it's like a kind of a seminar, and I go through a bit of my life, and I go through a couple of stories that happened to me, and then I go through a few like talk about a bit about birds, stuff like that, and I'll have a little kind of like what you call a projector behind me where I'm just kind of referencing pictures, facts about birds, that kind of stuff. So it's like a mixture between multimedia and just chatting shit. And then
that's a good
few songs, stuff like that.
That's a good way of being able to remember it though as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
To have it exactly.
There. You have the cues, on paper, like, or on the screen, so it's not so bad. But still, I'd be prone sometimes, like you'd be up there and you might forget something. You'd be like, you just come around to the realization, because lockdown, like everyone was kind of cocooned. But then sometimes since then, you'd be up on stage, you'd be like, oh, this room is full of, there's people in the room here. Like I need to know what I'm saying here. But it's very exciting. It's a massive turn on.
There's a big,
thinking about it.
There's a big, I could see the camera lifted. There's a big appetite for people though. There's a big appetite for people to get back into being entertained, really, isn't there?
They're ready to bite.
Yeah.
And they're ready to jump. People are gagging to get out there. It was kind of going the other way before lockdown. It seemed people were like more inclined to stay in, or you'd kind of be looking for an excuse nearly not to go out. But nowadays, people are absolutely gagging to get out there on the dance floor. There'll
how
be a
does
lot of
one
babies born the next month. I'll tell you that for nothing.
how does one get some sweet sponsorship deals with companies like Club Orange and people like that? I tell you, I've only started drinking this now since you were promoting it. Those people would want
Thank
to be
you.
paying you a lot of money.
Well, that's the influencer job, you know. That's what an
Yeah, and
influencer does.
look what I had for dinner as well.
Oh no way, Golden Bake. Yeah. Well, I mean,
Yeah,
you're living the dream, Morris. What more do you want?
yeah,
The trifecta. Time alone with the jam bun and a bottle of Club Orange, and you're away with
yeah.
it.
I seen. Yeah, was it in Dublin? You were dressed up as an orange Santa Claus, giving
I
out
was.
Club
I
Orange.
was. I was indeed.
Uh,
Yeah, I was up in Dublin before lockdown, and sorry, no, before Christmas,
yeah,
and I was knocking around different spots wearing this orange costume. I got to drive a lovely old car,
I
and
see that. Yeah.
that was a bit of work there for Club Orange. So yeah, I'd say just keep drinking it like that on camera, and then just
Yeah.
keep emailing them.
Did many
No, actually,
people
don't
recognize you?
keep emailing them. But well, I had the whole clobber on me, so they didn't really know. But people,
No.
because I was so dressed up like an orange-looking Santa, people were kind of like, "What are you up to? What are you doing here?" And I'm like, "Oh, I'm just doing a video here for Club Orange." They're like, "All right, right. What's it on? Is it on the telly?" I'm like, "No, I think it's just the internet. This one." All right, where can I see? And then they'd be kind of confused more so than anything else. But I had to drive through Dublin City as well a few times, which was nice. So I was
Yeah.
getting plenty of beeps. But the car that I was driving kept conking, so
It looked like a really old car. Yeah.
it was like 1970s or something like that. The car, but the engine was gone. If you slowed down at all, Morris, the engine would conk. So I conked about 10 times in the city, and I was like, "Can I get a push?" And people were
Were
coming
you on
over.
your own?
Well, no, there was like a convoy. There'd be a car in front, and then there'd be a
Okay, I
car
get you.
behind. But because my car kept stalling, the convoy, they'd go their own way, and I'd be stuck in the city centre. But they were sound. They had me kind of managed either side, but it was still like a couple of ropey moments, you know, because the clutch or the gear stick and the clutch, and there was no power steering, so it was like trying to turn a big wheel on a boat. I was like, "Come on, you gut!"
I actually won a case of Club Orange off them before. Funny story. A
Nice.
few years ago, they put up a thing. What are you giving up for Lent? So can you guess what my answer was?
Fanta.
Yep.
No way. All right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
that's good.
that was it kind of only just went up, and I just that's a good answer there.
That was a very
And
good
then
answer. Yeah,
I got the message, and I was like, yeah, I kind of knew I was going to win that one.
yeah. It's a nice drink. I like it.
Yeah. No, I don't like Fanta at all, and I'm not just saying that.
Okay, you got
Yeah.
very
But
specific taste.
yeah. Apart from the stand up stuff, is there any other plans or any other avenues that you want to get into? Or are you just going to focus on this one?
No, I'm going to actually do a movie this summer. I'm writing a script now at the moment, and it's kind of
Okay.
like going to be a Irish karate movie, but it's going to be done kind of like Fatal Deviation, but I'm not going to try. Yeah, I don't want to say too much about it really, but like it's going to be an Irish kung fu movie, and it's going to kind of try to be. Going to try and do it in a unique style of comedy, and so so that's all I'll say about that for the moment. Like, but I'm going to try
Hmm.
and get at least one or two big hitters in there, like maybe
Okay.
some fella that's involved in martial arts. That's maybe his career's on the way down a bit, so he might pick up the phone if I call him.
Hmm.
So yeah, it'd be nice
Are
to get
you
one or two big named people in there as well. Like, I mean, I can't think
are
of
you
anyone off
gonna?
the top of my head. Like
Yeah.
a Butterbean, he'd be a great man to get in there.
Are you going to be in it yourself now, or is this like something that you've written?
I'm going to be in it myself. Yeah, I'm going to be
Okay.
playing a character in it, and I'm going to have a special move that I'm working on at the moment that you're going to see only at the end of the movie. So it's going to be the climactic scene, and everyone's going to see it and be like, "Did he really do that?" And depending on how fit I am at the time, it'll either be me or a body double.
It might lead to a cliffhanger maybe at the end then as well.
I might leave it open so that I can get a series, sell it to Netflix, and then we'll go from there. Like, but because I wanted to, I seen Cobra Kai and it wasn't nasty enough for me.
Yeah.
I wanted to be a bit more nasty, so I was thinking if I do my own karate, but it won't be just karate; it'll be a mixture of martial arts, there'll be a bit of boxing in there, but there'll be good drama in there as well. And it's going to be like Moon Boy, but just with karate in it.
You have a word with the production company then about that movie that we were talking about earlier with the Slitter and the
Yeah.
lads.
Well, that's the funny thing is you mentioned that because at the end of this karate movie, there's a massive gangbang scene, and I want you in it. I want you to direct it.
We'll see what we can do.
Bring that special stick that you have.
Yeah. I was listening to an episode of your podcast there one night when I was in bed about you going on holidays there before Christmas and catching COVID.
Oh yeah.
I never know with you. Is that actually true or
That is true.
was
Yeah, that is. Yeah,
it is?
I got it. I got the Omicron when I was in Spain, so I was like housebound for the whole thing, and it was kind of surreal because I was over there and it was like I had to stay in an Airbnb. My plans changed, so I had to stay in an Airbnb because I didn't want to be causing trouble for someone else's partner, like because they were coming back. They'd be coming back to Spain in the next couple of days, so I didn't want to be like the procedure. I was just trying to follow the procedure, like just to be sound like. So I was staying in an Airbnb, but like the rooms that I was staying in, they were very much like science fiction kind of rooms. They were like the doors were all like really long. This was just by accident. I think the place was called City Lights or something like that, but it was like an Airbnb where like you put in a code at the door, and the door goes beep open, and then it was like I walked into my room and you had to put a code into the door. I was like beep open. You'd go in, and then it was kind of like a weird kind of science fiction room. So while that was happening, while I was like over there in Spain and I was kind of in lockdown, and I was in this weird science fiction room, and I was kind of away for Christmas, it was kind of like all those things together. I was like, fucking hell, this is like it's like being inside a movie.
That's fucking
but
mad.
That's the height of it. There's no other climax to that story.
Yeah, but like you're going away for Christmas and then you fucking catch COVID. Like, what a pain in the arse altogether.
I know, yeah, it was fucking typical. Now, in saying that, the weather was very nice over there. It was like 25 degrees, and the food was lovely. So it wasn't that bad. Like, but just the thing is, myself and my mate who lives over there, he had stuff planned. He had good stuff planned. So I felt like kind of a bit guilty about that because we were going to have a barbecue and we were going to go to like a New Year's fuck party. And I was going to invite you, Maris.
Yeah.
We're going to go to like a New Year's party and get all down and dirty, Christina Aguilera style.
But orgies.
Well, yeah, you know the crack yourself. Keys into a bucket.
Yeah. And the phones.
Phones gone. Eyes closed, and the pants dropped. You've been there.
Oh, sure, we've all been there. When you say that about the codes for the rooms and things like that, I stayed in a place like that actually. There's one I think it's in Laois actually. I went to a wedding there, and it's like a non-contact thing. So you end up at this it's an apartment, and you pop in the key. And actually, I'm going to WrestleMania next month with a couple of the lads. We're going to Dallas, Texas, and it's the same kind of kind of crack. Same kind of crack. Got an email saying we don't have to meet anyone. This is your apartment. We'll send you a code to your phone 24 hours before you get there. Pop in the code, and then you get your house keys. Madness.
That's brilliant. That's class, Morris. Yeah. So Dallas, Texas. That's
Dallas, Texas.
You're flying from Dublin straight into Dallas,
No, we have to change in Chicago, and then on the way back we fly to London, and then only one stop, and then back to Dublin. So it's not too bad.
Class. I used to watch it back in the day when you had the Legion of Doom and them boys, and even Rikishi and Scotty Tuhati. But I haven't really watched it now. I'd say probably the last 10 years. I haven't. I think The Rock actually was the last fella who I was kind of fairly into.
Yeah.
Triple H.
I'm going over with 4 lads that don't watch it, but we all got tickets. We all got kind of cheap tickets up in the stand, so we're just kind of using it as a piss up, really.
That's a brilliant idea, man. That's going to be the piss up to end all piss ups.
Yeah, I should hope so.
Yeah.
Look, it was a pleasure to catch up with you again today, man.
Sorry, I felt like there was like a bit of dead air there, and you're like, "Fuck, is that? You want to leave me now, do you?"
If you leave me now.
No worries, Thomas. Thanks for having me on. I really appreciate it.
Yeah. Anything else we can expect before you go?
Keep an eye out, anyways, for that movie that'll be coming out this summer. Hopefully, I'll see you along with one of the stand-ups. I do have the podcast at the moment, and check out my Instagram page and that kind of stuff. But that's it, really.
Yeah, I'll put all the links of your stuff at the end of this video. And
brilliant.
Pleasure again, man. We'll hopefully see you in person soon for some pints and fibbers.
Give me a shout next time you're DJing in Fibbers, and I might head. Well, if I'm around Dublin, I'll call in because
Yeah,
that's my favorite pub in Dublin is Fibbers by a
you can
long
go
way.
up and play a few tunes while I go out for a smoke, maybe.
Yeah, maybe just
Yeah,
press a couple of buttons, get the mic,
yeah,
get the earphones in, start
yeah.
turning a couple of knobs.
It's very easy, very easy.
Sounds good.
So,
All
man,
right, Morris. Chat to you soon,
thanks,
buddy.
man. Good luck,
Take
man.
care. Bye bye.